Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm going to do a collective reading and we're going to see what the message is right now. Keep in mind, it's general. It could be past, present, or future. You will know best how this resonates for you, okay? Where it fits on your timeline. So let's get into it and see what's going on today. What's the message for the collective today? Let's see what's happening. We have the Five of Cups, the Three of Swords in reverse, the Ten of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Sun. All right. So there is sadness here. It starts off with sadness, grief, despair. But there's healing here, okay? So you could have overcome something painful. You could have gone through something painful, but you're coming out on the other side. You're healing some sort of heartbreak here. This could have to do with family or a family situation. All right, and then we have the Queen of Wands here. So this could be you or someone that you're dealing with. All right, let's see. Why is the Five of Cups here? I mean, I do like that there is healing here. I feel like the Five of Cups is in the past. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Look at that. It comes out in reverse again. So it looks like there was a long time where you were grieving something. A lot of sadness. A lot of despair, but you're healing it. I mean, I hope that's what this is, because I don't know why the Three of Swords in reverse is under the Five of Cups. Let's see. What's the Three of Swords reverse? Oh, man. A fight about a lot of money. Does that have to do with an argument about a lot of money, fighting about a lot of money, or fighting about an inheritance or generational wealth, family legacy? Okay, let's see. Tell me about the Ten of Cups. Man, see, I was hoping that this was going to be, you know, but it kind of already got me with the Three of Swords in reverse under the Five of Cups. I was like, is this another person? Is this a third party? Someone that's upset about you healing something? I mean, why is the Seven of Swords here? Coming out with family. We have someone lying about a family situation, or... I mean, honestly, I don't even really feel that. If I'm being honest, the way that it feels is that there was something that happened in a family situation. Maybe there were a lot of grievances. There were some sort of fights, arguments, but I feel like it's being healed. I feel like it's being worked through. Or it's been forgiven, or that's what you're working towards, okay? Tell me more about the Ten of Cups, please. The Hierophant in reverse. What is this about now? Tell me about the Queen of Wands. Who's this? We have the Six of Swords and the Ten of Wands in reverse. Yeah, someone here is not burdened, or you've left something behind, or something is not weighing heavy on you. There's no burden here. You're not carrying a heavy weight. You've moved on from something. You've left something behind. All right, tell me more about this, please. Five of Cups. The Tower. All right, so something here was devastating. It was shocking. It was painful. It was, for some reason, I feel like this reading is about your healing journey through this. Let's see. Why is the Tower here with the Five of Cups? stabbed in the back in reverse. You're not in any kind of heartbreak, pain. You're not stabbed in the back. Why is this the Tower? Why is there sadness here with not being stabbed in the back? Why is there sadness and grief here with not going through heartbreak and pain? Okay. Because of a snake, that's why. All right. Coffin. Because of a snake, competition, enemy, clever, malicious, a malicious snake, and a coffin. What the heck? Help me understand this. Why is this Five of Cups here? This sadness and this Five of Swords. All right, so it is some sort of deception. It is some sort of sabotage, deception. So whoever the saboteur is, or the person that was being petty and competitive in this situation, they are now sad. Something is a catastrophe. Because you're not stabbed in the back. The Eight of Swords in reverse. You're not trapped. You're not trapped or stuck in your head. Or the Two of Pentacles. Someone tried to balance something out. They tried to find another option to something. Or what is this? Toil and labor. It has to do with what somebody is working towards, what someone is planning, working, toil and labor. A plan, what somebody was working towards. What's the Tower here? What's this catastrophe? The Ace of... that there's no love? That there's no love? Whose energy is this? Someone that's sad. Oh. No, I do feel like that the Five of Cups is you. I do feel that you went through something here that was really devastating and heartbreaking, and you were sad. Very sad. Ace of Cups in reverse. You might have felt like someone didn't love you. You might have felt like, or maybe you wondered if someone loved you, or if they even cared about you, or I feel like you went through something, could be with family, that left you absolutely, yeah, it left you in some sort of despair, wondering if this person even really cared about you. You might have wondered if this person had done, it was a snake, okay? I feel like this sadness and this Ace of Cups in reverse is about a family member or someone close to you, and you wondering if this person in your life was a snake to you, was an enemy to you, or did something malicious towards you. Maybe you didn't know if they even really cared about you. The Eight of Swords in reverse, you might have suspected this person of doing something, maybe to get themselves out of some sort of entrapment. Or maybe this could even be, you know, you asking yourself, why is this person treating you this way? Or why, like, what's their motive behind all this? Like, why did they leave you out of something? Or why do they, you know, make you feel like they don't care about you? Okay. The Ten of Swords in reverse. Yeah, but they didn't stab you in the back. They didn't. Okay, so honestly, what I feel like is going on here, because look, stabbed in the back is in reverse twice. So this person, they didn't stab you in the back. They didn't hurt you. They didn't attack you. They didn't do something to you. But you might have gone through a period of time where you suspected this person. Okay? And that could have a lot of reasons why you suspected this person of maybe doing something to you. It could even have to do with other people, right? So if we take like a family dynamic, because this is giving me 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, it could have to do with family. Let's say you have a grievance with a family member and this person takes their side, okay, or starts defending them. And you're left feeling sad and depressed and upset, asking yourself why, how could they take their side? Like, why are they defending this other person? So let's say there is a snake around you. You know that there's a snake. You know that there is someone that wants to do something to you or has some sort of revenge antics towards you, or, you know, is very malicious towards you. And then there's another person here, what I feel, a family member, where you couldn't understand how they could just leave you out of something, or how they could defend someone else, or how they could treat you like you don't matter and this other person matters more. Because look, the truth is one person here did not stab you in the back. They didn't do anything to you. But this reading gives me that you might have suspected that they did based off of other decisions that they made, right? And it could have a lot to do with like emotional turmoil. It could have a lot to do with emotional turmoil. And it could also have to do with, you know, you going back and forth in your mind here with the Two of Pentacles, wondering, like, you're trying to figure it out. It's like, why are they doing this? Or why are they choosing this other person's side? Or why are they defending this other person over me? Why are they choosing this other person over me, right? I feel like you felt like there must have been more to the story. Like maybe you felt like this person was also involved with something here, and they were also coming after you to get themselves out of imprisonment. Like it's given me something like blackmail or coercion, right? So maybe you wondered if they're working together, if these two people are working together over here, because maybe one person is being blackmailed by the other person, or they're under some sort of coercion, or there's, you know, maybe some sort of leverage, like maybe there's some sort of secrets that the other person knows about them. So that's like influencing them to come after you as well. It's given me a lot of like, why are you treating me this way? Why are you defending them? Why are you choosing their side? And you may be suspecting someone of something that they didn't do. But I feel like it's because of who they surrounded themselves with, for the most part, okay? So tell me about the Three of Swords reverse. Yeah, the King of Wands in reverse. So I feel like this is the person that came after you because they're a King of Wands in the reverse. This is a karmic, angry, hostile energy, someone that's impulsive, someone that's very forceful, okay? Competitive, angry, vengeful. So this is the person that came after you. I don't feel like this is the person you're upset about. Could be. But that's not how I feel. I feel like you were heartbroken about someone that chose this person's side. Could have been a family member that chose this person's side, or chose to stick up for them instead of you, or chose to believe them over you. That's another thing, right? It's like, how could you believe this person over me? Does this person have something on you? Does this person have some sort of leverage on you? Why are you helping this person free themselves from imprisonment, right? So let's say King of Wands in reverse here. did something illegal. Because I feel like there's definitely a criminal around, and it's giving me this King of Wands reverse. So they're doing something criminal, they're doing something illegal here. And there's another family member wrapped up into this. And this Five of Cups, this is you asking yourself, how can you choose the criminal over me? Or how can you choose to believe them over me? How can you choose to defend them over me or believe them? It didn't make any sense to you. It did not make any sense. I feel like the only logical thing that came from this was you thinking, well, either they have something on them, either they're being blackmailed, or they're helping each other out. Maybe they're helping each other out of some sort of imprisonment because they're both implicated in something illegal. Or this family member has just been manipulated into no longer caring about you by this King of Wands in reverse. But I feel like manipulation is the key word here, because whoever the family member is that you're upset about, they didn't stab you in the back. They didn't. They didn't hurt you or do anything to you. But I feel like they were manipulated by this King of Wands in reverse, but not in a way of doing something bad to you, more in a way of love bombing. All right, so King of Wands in reverse kept someone in your family close to them through love bombing and through gaslighting and, pretending to be someone that they're not. It was to keep them on their side, basically. So what's the Three of Swords reverse? The Hanged Man. The Star. A moment of enlightenment that leads to healing. So you must have had a pretty significant moment in the past of enlightenment that led you to see this for what it really was, which is the Three of Swords in reverse. Your family member who's not, like I said, just take it how it resonates, but I really feel like there's two people here, okay? There's one that's definitely a criminal. This one is definitely an evil criminal. But then there's a second person that's only attached to them that you might have suspected of working together with them, but they weren't. I really feel like they weren't. They really weren't. Even if at first you could not understand, like I said, why, but they didn't do anything to you. They didn't stab you in the back. They didn't do something. And it might have, I don't know. So either you've already had this realization or it'll come soon. But for some of you, okay, and the way that this feels is in the past, you had a realization that this family member actually didn't do anything to you, okay? They weren't involved. If anything, they were most likely gaslit and manipulated by this King of Wands in reverse the same way they do to everyone else, right? All right, so what's this Hanged Man here? The Chaser. Yeah, it's a fear of abandonment. All right. Chaser in a codependent relationship, a fear of abandonment. Okay, so what I feel like went on here, there was a fight here about an inheritance or a lot of money or something like that, right? So what you could have ended up realizing here is that the way that this King of Wands in reverse manipulated your family member into them sticking around and sticking up for this person was, this person is a love bomber, all right? They're a charmer, they're a love bomber, and they love bombed your family member into taking their side by propping themselves up as being a good person. So your family member, if they turned on you and said, you're making all this up, or you're imagining it, or they didn't do anything to you, if you're hearing, if you know full well this King of Wands in reverse did come after you, you know it. You know it in the depths of your soul that this King of Wands in reverse is a snake, a malicious enemy who tried to do something to you. And then your family member is like, no, they didn't do it. They would never do something like that. They didn't do that. And you're like, why are you believing them? Okay, it's because this person is very good at, you know, making themselves look like someone that they're not, right? But I feel like, you know, and also chasing after them. So this King of Wands in reverse chased after your family member, all right? Let's make it right, and please, you know, I'm such a good person. It's all this, you know, love bombing, gaslighting, manipulation thing, right? But I feel like what it ended up triggering in you is this question of like, how can you say that King of Wands in reverse didn't do something to me? How can you say that they would never do this? How can you defend them? How can you always take their side? How can you not see the truth? Is it that you really don't see? Or is it that you know something that I don't know? Okay, I feel like that's where your mind went. Your mind went to, I feel like you know way more than you're saying. I feel like you must be involved some way if you're protecting this person. It could have felt like your family member was protecting the King of Wands in reverse and you couldn't understand why. It's like, how could you protect a criminal like this? Right? So it's kind of giving me like, look, let's say it's like, let's say you're, now this is a bit far out, right? But let's say King of Wands in reverse is like a, you know how sometimes Netflix true, I'm not saying this person's a serial killer, I'm not saying that at all, but it's giving me a bit of those like true crime Netflix documentaries where they have a completely double life. All right, this is a criminal who has a completely different double life. And the family at home never knows about it, right? Because at home, they come home and they pretend to be this family father or whoever this King of Wands reverse is. They pretend to be this family man who's such a nice, charming person, and they're always so helpful and nice. And this could be someone's wife, right? You're looking at this person going like, how can you defend this person? They're not who you think they are. And your family member completely brainwashed and manipulated. Oh no, you don't know them. They would never do something like that. And you might have felt like, do you know more than what you're saying and you're protecting this person? It's like wondering if your family member is also implicated in some sort of crime to the point where they're covering for their husband, for example, so that they don't get in trouble. Right? I feel like you're like, are you trying to help this person out of prison so that you don't go to prison? Is that what this is? Is that why you're protecting them like this? Is that why you're defending them? Is that why you're not choosing my side, or why you're not, you know, defending me and protecting me? Is it because King of Wands in reverse has dirt on you? Is there blackmail? Is there leverage? Like, what is it? You can't be this blind. I feel like you must have gotten to the point with this family member where you just thought you cannot be this blind. You cannot be this blind to who you're married to or who you're with. You cannot be this blind. You cannot be this brainwashed and manipulated. But I feel like in this reading, it's the realization of actually, yeah, they were that blind. They actually were. They actually didn't know what was going on the whole time. They had no idea what was going on. They had no idea who this King of Wands in reverse really was. They were love blind. They were gaslit and brainwashed, and they actually didn't do anything to you. Them not defending you and protecting you had nothing to do with them being involved in something or them being a part of something. It was because they were actually that blind. They were actually that blind. They actually really couldn't see at all. Now, this might have actually ramped up here with some sort of a fight about an inheritance, all right? Maybe that's where your family member started to see the true colors of this King of Wands in reverse, all right? It might have taken your family member a long time to see who they were truly with and who they were truly protecting, okay? And it could have to do with an inheritance or a fight about an inheritance. Yeah, the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Cups. Yeah. When the Queen of Wands, when the Queen of Cups took some sort of action towards an inheritance or towards some sort of family money, that's when they saw, I feel like, the true colors of the King of Wands in reverse. And maybe that's also when you realized that this Queen of Cups has been blind the whole time and that they had no idea who they were dealing with, and that you maybe suspected them of something that they didn't do, and that they were actually also a victim. They were also a victim, I feel. They were a victim, just like you. I feel like it took you a while to see that, though, okay? Yeah. Yeah, the Fool and the Seven of Cups is something about you being confused about this person's actions or this person having a new beginning, right? So let's say this Queen of Cups might be this family member of yours, all right? So this Queen of Cups, they first separate from this King of Wands in reverse, or, you know, they say that they're going to go away from them, and then they go back to them, and they go have this on and off thing with them, and they're always flippy floppy with you, and, you know, then they choose this person's side, and then they don't choose your side, and something like that, right? And you could have been absolutely confused why they're doing this. Like, why are you having a new beginning with this person? Why are you going back to them? And you might have thought, or you might think, that it's because they're involved with this person. You might have thought that they were working together secretly. But that's not what it was. That's really not what it was. I don't feel that. That's not what it was. It was that this King of Wands in reverse really love bombed the Queen of Cups into thinking, we're having a new beginning. It's going to be perfect. I love you so much. I don't have a double life. I'm not a criminal. I'm a great person. You can trust me. It's psychological warfare, basically. And it's more about this King of Wands in reverse knowing that they're a criminal. And I feel like using this Queen of Cups as a human shield. And also, it's like a strategy. Keeping this Queen of Cups around them and against you was a strategy from the very beginning. All right? Divide and conquer kind of a thing, right? Because they felt like they were stronger getting away with all their crime if they had a Queen of Cups on their side going, no, they would never do that. They would never do something so heinous and horrible. They're a good person. It's all about the optics. This Queen of Cups didn't know anything. I really feel like they knew nothing. They didn't do anything to you. It wasn't that they had malicious intent at all. It was that it was a strategy from this King of Wands in reverse from the beginning to use this Queen of Cups for optics. It's all about the optics. Oh yeah, King of Wands, you're such a good person. I would never do something like that, right? But to you seeing this King of Wands very clearly, all right, knowing exactly who they are, knowing exactly what kind of a person they are, knowing exactly what they're capable of doing, you probably looked at this Queen of Cups going like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How can you not see this? How can you be so blind? But that's a Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups doesn't think with their head. They only think with their heart. And to a fault, I might add, because love, or what they thought was love, turned off all logic. You know. So tell me about this Seven of Swords, the Hierophant in reverse. This is someone who definitely was up to doing something illegal here. Judgment, exactly. And you saw it. You knew it. You saw it. You knew that this was a criminal, that your family member was involved with a dangerous criminal. And yeah, it's confusing when they're protecting that person and taking their side. It's like, how can you take their side? How can you protect them? Is there something you know that I don't know? Or do they have dirt on you? Like, are you in it together? Did you profit off of this? Like, how can you be so blind? You know, it's surreal. You don't, yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, it's surreal. It really makes you like scratch your head. Like, are you doing this on purpose, or, you know, are you really not seeing it, you know? Temperance in reverse. Yeah, you want to know what I feel like that is? No balance between the head, logic, and the heart. See, people like this that get in relationships with psychopaths like this, the problem is that at some point you have to, and I shouldn't say people like this because it can happen to anyone, but you do have to kind of at some point see the person for who they really are. And I feel like this Queen of Cups had a hard time doing that, okay? They saw in the King of Wands in reverse what they wished they were, right? And that, and you know, it's like somebody love bombing them and making them believe it's love, and the Queen of Cups not able to realize that it's love bombing, like thinking that it's real. They're very bad. This Queen of Cups, I'm sorry, but they're giving me someone really bad at picking up, even though they're intuitive. They are intuitive. This Queen of Cups is extremely intuitive. Now, do they listen to their intuition? That's the other question, all right? It's like turning off the intuition because the gaslighting and the love bombing is that good, right? And also it's a kind of like fear of abandonment look. It's also the kind of, you know, this romanticized idea of like, well, maybe they'll change. Maybe they can change. Not realizing that this King of Wands in reverse was playing them like a game. It was like just a game to them to see if they can manipulate them back and love bomb them and make them think this and think that and, you know, isolate them from family. And that it was just a game to them. And to you, it could have been blatantly obvious what was going on here. And I feel like the fact that to you it was so obvious, and the fact that you saw who this person really was and this Queen of Cups wasn't able to, that is what made you suspicious. That's what made you go, are you trying to help this person out of prison? Are you trying to do this? Like, are you trying to get out of prison? Did you both do something criminal together? Are you both in it together? Because how can you be so blind? Okay, that's where the suspicion came in. Oh, exactly. Exactly. This King of Wands in reverse is a master at masking and mirroring. That's who they are, to the core of it. They are a mask and they are a mirror. And the mask being that they don't show their true feelings. What they show is, oh, Queen of Cups, I love you. I love you, Queen of Cups. You know, But that's not how they really feel. Because this King of Wands reverse, I'm pretty sure they don't have feelings. They don't even know what love is. They don't even know what feelings are. They don't have feelings. But they know how to mirror them. They know how to pretend to have feelings. They know how to pretend to love someone. It's just their whole identity is a mask and a mirror. That's it. You know, this is someone that'll buy love through buy love, okay? Buy affection, buy love with presents. You know, that's how they do it. They pretend. They pretend to love. They pretend to be a good parent, a good father, a good family man, a good whatever. But it's all a mask. They just mirror something back that they think the Queen of Cups wants to see. That's it. That was the whole relationship. I'm going to mirror to you that I'm this knight on the white horse coming to save you. I am your savior. I am the love of your life. I am here to rescue you, and I'm going to give you this grand life, and we're going to have this amazing thing. And, you know, it's love bombing. And I guess to this Queen of Cups, that sounded amazing. Yes, I love it, right? Because relationships reflect wounds. But more than that, it's just diluting and gaslighting. That's what it is. Pretending. Hiding, personifying, pretending. So this whole mask and mirror thing that this King of Wands reverse had going on, it had one purpose. And that was to hide who they truly are on the inside. This Queen of Cups did not know who this person really was, what they were really doing, and what they were really hiding. Because you have to understand, with psychopaths or sociopaths like this, they are extremely good at pathologically lying. Okay? They're extremely good at making you think that they are, because they're a mirror. They don't actually have these feelings, these emotions, these lives. They just mirror. They don't have an identity. They mirror an identity that they think that you want, right? So Queen of Cups was never in love with King of Wands reverse. Queen of Cups was in love with the mask, with the mirror. And that served one purpose, which was hiding what they were truly doing, hiding who they truly are, hiding how they truly feel. Because Queen of Cups, they didn't care about this person. They don't love this person. They don't even know what that is. This relationship served one purpose. And it was to hide what they were truly doing. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying Netflix, true crime, psychopath, sociopath. This is a prime example of a person like this. They create a fake family. And it's only to create this illusion, this optical illusion of being a good family person and being a good father and being a good whatever they were trying to pretend to be here. Because then when the police comes knocking and says, hey, you criminal, you've been committing a lot of crime, their wife goes, oh no, they would never do something like that. They would never. I've never experienced them doing anything like this. Yeah, because they're really fucking good at hiding it. But you saw it. You, collective, you saw it. You're like, I know that that is a fucking mask. And unfortunately for you, for a long time, you thought or you figured that if you're so good at seeing through this person, that other people should be able to see it too, but they're not. This person is tricky, very good. And only people that get really close enough to them can see them for who they truly are. And I think that a big part of it is not having an emotional bond. Because this Queen of Cups had an emotional bond to them. And that's why they could not see. At all. At all. They couldn't think with their head, only with their heart, because their heart was like, oh, I love this person's mask. But they mirror back to me this fake identity. It's so amazing. I love this fake person that's not even real, right? Yeah. The Hierophant. That's who they pretend to be. That's not who they really are, though. Look, they pretend to be the Hierophant, but that's not who they really are. They're a lying, cheating, stealing, frauding, deceptive, manipulative, I already said deceptive. They're just a criminal. They just do illegal things. They have no moral compass, no integrity. They have no care for anyone but themselves. They have no guilt. They have no shame. They have no morals, nothing. They don't have any of that. They're a cold-hearted criminal. And here, this is how they appear to this Queen of Cups. I'm such a great person. I have so many morals, integrity, and I always do the right thing. I always do what's best for everyone, right? Yeah. So why is this Queen of Wands here? The Knight of Cups. Knight on a white shining horse. Here. Yes, here. I'm helping you. I'll do this and that for you, right? Forgiveness. The Devil in reverse. Why did you forgive someone here? I feel like this is about you forgiving someone. And I feel like this forgiveness is for this Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups is not evil. They're not. They're not evil at all. They didn't do anything to you. They didn't stab you in the back. They weren't a part of this. They didn't hurt you. They didn't. They weren't evil. They were a love-bombed victim of a psychopathic sociopath. So, like I said, either you have already forgiven this person or this is someone that you can forgive, because they didn't do anything to you. They didn't. They didn't help this person. They wouldn't have never allowed this person to do something to you. The King of Wands in reverse didn't do anything in this Queen of Cups' face. That's for sure. Queen of Cups didn't know about anything. Nothing. Okay? And it might have taken you a while to figure that out, because I feel like for you, it was hard to believe that this mask was that convincing, but it was. For Queen of Cups, it was. They really did not know at all anything. But they didn't do anything to you. They didn't. They're not evil. They didn't help this person. They didn't work together with this person. There's no blackmail. The reason why they were even with the King of Wands in reverse had nothing to do with blackmail, had nothing to do with coercion, had nothing to do with getting them out of prison or helping them out anyway, had nothing to do with any of that. It was literally just a love-bombing mask of fake love. That's what kept them there. That's it. And yeah, it might have taken you a while to wrap your head around that one, but you know, it might have taken this Queen of Cups a long time to see who they were actually with, right? As well. They didn't want to see it. 8 of Pentacles, something about working on something, working it out. The 6 of Wands, victory and success with working it out. A Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Who's that? A false person. Yeah, isn't that sad? It's you, it's like, it's realizing that at the end of it all, this Queen of Cups was actually just another victim in all this. Manipulated into thinking this is love, and in reality, they were a victim of a sociopathic, psychopathic, demonic entity here that literally uses them or used them as a human shield to hide behind. That's it. Because this person is a coward. They're a fucking little coward. And they just manipulated and lied to this person. They don't care about the Queen of Cups at all. Just a false person. It's all about winning. It was all just about winning. They used this Queen of Cups. They were going to discard this Queen of Cups. They didn't care about her at all. It was just a game. It was just a pawn. Yeah, they were just used as a pawn. Look at that. It says pathway on here, but look, I just said pawn. P-A-W. That's funny. Pawn. Yeah, this relationship was a pawn to a great fortune. That's all this King of Wands reverse wants. They're a fraud con artist. They're a criminal. All they want is a great fortune. And if this Queen of Cups is attached to one, even better. They were just a fraud, a false person in a relationship, and that was their pathway. They used this Queen of Cups as a human shield. That's it. Like I said, so the cops come by and say, oh, Mrs. Queen of Cups here, your husband or your relationship here, we have questions. And Queen of Cups, I have no idea what you're talking about. They would never do something like that. Yeah. Strategy, that's it. It's just strategy. Or this Queen of Wands in reverse had a long-term strategy with the Queen of Cups, using them for money, only to discard them afterwards, you know? And I feel like what's important here is that this Queen of Cups is just as much a victim, even though in some situations it might have been hard for you to see that. It might have been hard for you to understand their actions or why they're, you know, even the fact that they're choosing this person's side over yours, protecting them over you, not listening to you, not believing you. It didn't come from malice. It actually comes from the fact that this person is under so much like brainwashing that they're actually a victim of this King of Wands as well. Like, you have to understand, because this is a lot of abuse. It's a lot. It could even be years of emotional abuse, mental abuse, financial abuse, even physical abuse, okay? Years. Do you know how that fractures a person's psyche and their mind? This Queen of Cups at some point could have been unrecognizable to you. Unrecognizable. Like you don't even like if this is someone you grew up with, it was like you're looking at someone and you don't even recognize this person from your past. You're like, where did that person go that I knew back then? It's like you're not even the same person anymore. But that's what abuse does to people, right? And they could have had, like, what I'm also getting is could have had like heightened levels of stress. Okay, you could have seen it in this person's body language, in their face, in their actions, that there was heightened levels of stress, or just like, you know, it's giving me like you just could not recognize this person. And maybe in the past you mistook that for they must be hiding something, or maybe they're so stressed because they're going through something, or maybe they know things that you don't know, or maybe they're helping this King of Wands in reverse and it's getting too much. But I don't feel like that's what it is. What it was is most likely abuse. Chronic stress, mental strain, you know, it's like almost like you're talking to someone and it's like they're not even there. It's like you're talking to someone and you're like, did you hear me? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, are you in there? You know, the Eight of Pentacles, the plan, something about this plan to have victory and success, the Devil and the Ten of Swords. This is giving me why, look, again, why did you suspect this person, this Queen of Cups, of wanting to hurt you? Why did you suspect them? Why did you think that they did something so evil to you? Because I honestly feel like you couldn't understand how they couldn't see who they were with clearly. Something about maybe even their work, okay, their job. Something about their job, maybe. Maybe you felt like this Queen of Cups did something to you or tried doing something to you out of desperation. All right. Maybe they were you thought maybe they were being threatened. They were being threatened by the King of Wands in reverse. Maybe you thought they were being threatened, blackmailed, pressured, coerced. I mean, I feel like at the heart of it, at the root of it all, you knew that this Queen of Cups wouldn't do this to you out of their own agenda. Like, I feel like you knew they wouldn't do this to you. But the King of Wands in reverse would. They would. And maybe you felt like they were using this Queen of Cups to come after you. Or they were threatening them or pressuring them or blackmailing them into doing something. But they didn't. They didn't. And honestly, behind the scenes, the King of Wands in reverse didn't blackmail the Queen of Cups. They didn't coerce the Queen. They didn't threaten the Queen of Cups. They didn't do any of that. They actually did the complete opposite, which is love bombing, which is trying to create a fake mask and a fake mirror, a fake optical illusion of this fake person, of that they're a good person. They would never do something horrible. That's actually why they used the Queen of Cups. They didn't use the Queen of Cups as an arm to come after you. They used the Queen of Cups for their optics, for their fake persona, and as a human shield. Yeah, so the Queen of Cups didn't do anything to you. They didn't. But I feel like you suspected them for a long time. You did. And I feel like it was really hard. It was very hard, devastating for you. Five of Cups, very sad, very depressed, wondering why this person doesn't love you. Or wondering if they just don't love you. Like maybe you felt like they don't love you. Because how can you choose an abuser over your family member and love them? I feel like that's how you must have equated it somewhere in your trauma in the situation. You must have equated it with, if they can choose this person over me, then they must not love me at all. But it didn't have anything to do with you. It had nothing to do with you. It actually had something to do with their own sense of self-worth and their own self-love being so little after all these years of so much abuse from the King of Wands in reverse. They had so much self-love that they didn't have anything else to give to anyone. I feel like they were just holding on to any little drip of love that came from the King of Wands in reverse. Difficult. Yeah. No, they're a victim in this. They are. I really feel that. I really do feel that. I really do feel that. Yeah, so closing words here. The Six of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands in reverse. Death in reverse. Something about giving and receiving, why you blocked something. Why you blocked something that, yeah, you might have gotten to a point also with this Queen of Cups where you blocked anything they tried to give you. Anything. And not because of the Queen of Cups, but I swear it's because of who they were attached to. You didn't trust anything. First of all, I feel like you didn't trust anything because of the King of Wands in reverse. You didn't know where their hands were, you know, especially if they like live together in the same house, or like anything the Queen of Cups touches, this person can touch. Anything that the Queen of Cups has standing around, this person can access. It's like, I don't trust anything coming out of that house, out of that place, out of that direction. All right. Because of the King of Wands in reverse having their hands and things, access to things, but also I feel like you knew that the Queen of Cups was just like oblivious, like super naive, oblivious, stunted in some sort of way, to the point where, you know, like let's say they want to be nice to you and give to you, even if it's money, and you're like, I don't want your money. Because you didn't know, is it really their money or is it the King of Wands in reverse in the background? You know, you didn't trust it's not that you didn't trust the Queen of Cups, because you knew Queen of Cups is a shield, a human shield. You didn't trust the little coward with his tail between his legs behind the Queen of Cups. That's who you didn't trust. So at the same time, how are you supposed to trust a Queen of Cups when they are standing in front of King of Wands going, oh, King of Wands, I'll protect you. Don't worry. I know that you didn't do anything. It's like, what? How are you martyring yourself right now for this person? Right? But look, Death in reverse, they didn't do anything to you. They did not do anything to you. They didn't. Nope, the Queen of Cups, look, there she is. And that's how the cycle closed out for you, okay? Or that's how it will close out, or that's how you're going to be able to close out the cycle with this Queen of Cups, or even repair the relationship with this person. It's when you realize that they were being used as a human shield. That's it. All right. So let's just see maybe who's involved in this. July. So Queen of Cups could be born in July. An Aries. A Pisces. A Scorpio father and December. And a Virgo. And March. And that's all I have for you guys, all right? Hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.